Yeah, thank you, Andrew. Thanks for initiating this. And good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for your time to join this session. I hope you all had a nice lunch and you're keeping yourselves safe at home. And yep, of course, thank you, Midcamp organizers, for turning this digital, keeping the community momentum on. So that's a huge thing. I'm just sharing my screen. Give me a second. Yeah. So I'll be talking about Drupal gets smarter with the AI-driven bot, mostly on how bot added value, where did we use Drupal, and how and why the solutions worked with our customers. I'll not talk about the technical implementations and the hands-on stuff, but yeah, please feel free to reach me out on Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm active on both the portals. Shoot me an email if you want to. I'll be happy to talk to you and get connected with you. All right. So just to give you an idea, as in what's this all about? This is for one of our customers. They wanted to analyze and optimize the performance of their products. We've used Amazon Lex, Drupal, and other solutions to build enterprise chatbot and dashboard to serve diverse range of use cases. So at Citizen, we believe that going an extra mile always adds the value. So herein, we were able to accomplish this. This new solution built was actually able to help client help increase the user retention rate drastically, was able to help upsell of the products, and was very much accessible. What we did was we basically stepped down during the implementation phase. We listened to the client's agony. We listened that the solution which was made was actually right, but then it was not accessible by the user. So how did we do that? I keep on talking. So giving you an overview of the customer, this is a Fortune 500 company and is a leading global provider of cleaning solutions, both chemicals and cleaning equipments. Though they don't manufacture any cleaning machines, but they do equip them with the IoT sensors. Now, data from these IoT sensors is used to analyze and monitor the performance data. So on my screen on the right, these are the kind of the floor machines and other machines which they equip IoT with. And this data from the IoT, which is sent, is used to make the dashboards like this. Now, up till now, you might have got an idea that this is a fleet tracking solutions which you're trying to build. And with this fleet tracking solution systems, you can track and monitor the data online. You can track and monitor the data on your handheld devices. You can while going to the office or while going to any other maybe at your home only. On the situation like this, you could ask as in how is your machine doing. Just by simply looking at the dashboards, you could look at the savings in your portfolio, or you could ask the chatbot onto it. So this was like really helpful when was turned from dashboards to the chatbots. So I was talking about this kind of utterances which could be asked to the bot or to the dashboard, that where is my machine located, how many machines are available on the pool, how much savings do I have. So all of these could be asked from whenever and wherever you want there. So this is just a snapshot of the dashboard which we made during the project implementation. I was just able to share that because of anonymous clients. In this snapshot, the country France, it clearly mentions that country France has this much savings. So when we logged into the dashboards, and we could actually see the real time data that savings incurred with the country France is this much, and they've utilized this much 2296 machines. Similarly, if you could change the drop down boxes, you could see on the utilization drop box, you would have overutilization machines, you could have underutilized machines, and you could have machine models. Based on that, you could see the portfolio, as in how much savings you are doing, which machine is being used, which machine is not being used, how many machines are actually in the pool. So all of this data which you're getting here is a real time data. These interactive dashboards drove operational efficiency for the customers. Guys, please let me know if I'm going too slow or too fast. I'll be able to maintain that. Okay, so now these dashboards were like were playing their part. They were able to fetch they were able to fetch the data, they were able to show the real time data, but these were not used as much as they would have been. Now consider a scenario wherein people are working at different zones. Some people are working on manufacturing zones, some people are working at the field, some people are working in strategy on the offices. All those people wouldn't have access to these dashboards. No, we do had the data at one centralized place, but the dashboards were not accessible to all because you have to figure out the logins, you have to set parameters, set regions, set data ranges, and etc. In short, it was too much time and effort for them. Hence, we came up with the solution of the chatbots that will place a chatbots right in the middle of dashboards and the business executives. As per me, this is not the only solution, but then this helps the customer increase the accessibility rate. Now, with placing chatbots in the middle, executives could simply ask query and could get the answers super fast. The bots worked on ask and answered approach. It would execute a query by performing an analysis of relevant data, saving the huge time and effort. Bots were accessible 24/7. Executives did not need to set any parameters. This automated several tasks which were done on the Excel before. So all those fleet tracking management systems which were on dashboards, we try to have an added value added solution here, wherein chatbots were able to answer their questions every time and everywhere. Okay, we used Amazon Lex service to accomplish this. The Lex bot can be integrated with all social services like Slack, Messenger, and Skype. We've used IoT native iOS app for integration of this. Uh, the bots can be integrated with CRM tools like Salesforce to provide the personalized experience. We did the integration for one of the bots for the Salesforce case, wherein we wanted to generate a lead, as in if there are savings happening more than 60% in my portfolio, I might want to have a conversation regarding increase of the machines in a particular zone. We could also make the bots continuously intelligent by using AI and ML services. Again, as I was talking, we could have the trend analysis and the predictions done as we move on, saying that looking at the trends. Every year at quarter 4 there is a dip in savings after the festive season, so we might have to increase or decrease our fleets onto that. So we could use a lot of AI and a lot of ML onto the systems to understand the trends, and then the bots could proactively ask the regional leaders to have the action in place. Now the bots could be, there are kind of bots. The bots maturity can be defined by informational, personalized, and transactional. Now the bots which are informational could be as simple as which says which region am I belong to, where is my machine. Now or as simple as give me information about the casual leaves. The bots could be personalized. It could be personalized if they're giving you the information as per your role, as per your account. If you say tell me savings in my account, in my portfolio, it would become a personalized option. Or probably you could ask questions like how are my machines doing. So all of those are the examples of the personalized bots. The bots understands the natural language to provide the answers to the questions. The bots could be transactional and could go as complex as possible, as I was taking the example of if the savings dip across a particular quarter, or they increase across a particular quarter, there could be an integration, an email which could be sent, there could be a Salesforce integration which could be happened. uh, Predictive measures could be taken place. So this is the architecture which we used here in the project. Now when the user requests the intents, it says, key savings in my portfolio. What happens? The bot from the iOS application is sent to the Drupal along with the auth headers, and the Drupal recognizes the request with the and it places the right roles, right authorizations to the system in the place. The role of the user is used to decide the access of the user based on global level, country level, region level data. The auth headers added in the API and the Lambda get response with the authorization and the role of the user. Lambda helps send this query with necessary parameters to Amazon Lex. Lex recognizes the intent and triggers the Lambda function. The Lambda calls the database to crunch the numbers of the savings in my account and returns a request. Now the information which is retrieved is set as a response back to the user on the on the same platform. This is how the user journey happens when user requests and intents on the chatbot. But how are we updating the databases at a regular basis? Now when we are saying all the data which is coming onto the dashboards and all the data which is on the bot is a real-time data, the data from the IoT devices is continuously sent to the S3 buckets, wherein with the help of Lambda, whenever the data is updated, the Lambdas are triggered to update the databases. Yeah. Okay. So I'll quickly go on to the demo. Once I log in onto the screen, so the bot would give me the information, right, that I'm your bot. It welcomes you, which is again, it is giving you a personalized touch, and it tells you what could it do. It could actually tell you the number of overutilized machines it has. It could tell you the number of underutilized machines it has. It gives you an option either to select proactively from all of these intents, or to type in your own query. You're free to do now, in this particular case, when I select overutilized machines, it will tell me that I'm a user whose region is decided as a France, and in France, number of machines are 21. Number of the savings done in the region France is this much, and number of sites which are operating in France are 21. Similarly, now it will give me the top 5 sites in France are this much. I can actually go into the site and check which machines are doing what. On this particular site, it will tell me these are the number of machines and this much is the savings. So you could actually drill it down to a machine level. Now this particular site has just one machine installed. So it will give me the actual informations about the machine, all the parameters of the machine. This was a proactive flow. As I was mentioning, I could also ask bot the personalized query. Right now, I'm asking the bot, what are the overutilized machines in the country Turkey? However, I'm a user who's assigned only the France data. So the bot shouldn't answer this. It would say that the data is not permissible. But it will give me the data of the France because I'm a French user here. And again, the flow would continue. And as you saw here, now when you would have clicked here on the top right corner, I also have an option to change the language of the bot. Right now, there are just 5 languages, top 5 languages, which were used during the customer, which are used most during the by the customers, are placed here. Once we change the language, we can interact with this particular system in the changed language also. The natural language processor behind the scene, which is Lex in this particular case, would identify the language, detect it, and change the get you the answer back into that particular language, changing the intent. So these were the kind of workflows. This is just one kind of user journey. All other user journeys are done in a similar way, wherein all other user journeys are done in the similar way, wherein we actually interacted with the client, understood the complete workflow, and had this workflow proactively driven inside the chatbot and inside the dashboards where the data was readily available to them. All the bots in this particular ecosystem help the client upsell the business of worth $90 million. They helped retain the user retention from 8% to 42%. The bot applications allowed analytics team to automate a lot of tasks which were earlier happening on the Excel and other tools. So the details of all of these is available on Srijan.net. There's an article and a blog. I'll share it with you on the mid-camp slides. And I think I'm open for the questions. Any?
Great. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, please put them in the chat and I can read them off. While we're waiting, I also put a link to the session. Feel free to give feedback on the session and also put your questions in the chat. I put the link in the chat. We'll give another minute or two. See if there's any questions. Do you have any other comments you want to say? Otherwise, I can stop the recording and we can take questions into the hallway. And contact information is on the screen, so feel free to reach out direct. Do you have any last comments?
Thank you guys. Any feedback, if any, would be really appreciated.
Great. Well, with that, I'll stop the recording and we can hang out in here for a little bit if a question pops into somebody's mind. Otherwise, thank you so much. Another session will be starting in this room at 2:30. Thanks.